Welcome to yet another ICCA Middle East podcast, where we will have real conversations from the business events frontline. Today, we will explore how the business events industry in Saudi Arabia and Doha, Qatar continues to operate, adapt, and grow amid the broader geopolitical uncertainties. The discussion, of course, will focus with the role of a professional conference organizer who plays an important role in ensuring safe, seamless, and impactful events. From outside, the region is often viewed through a geopolitical lens. But from the inside, business events are still happening strategically, safely, and at a scale. Today, I want to explore what resilience really looks like on ground in Saudi and in Qatar. We have with us Malik Shishtawi, the founder and CEO of Mangustin Middle East, based out of Qatar, and Shakib Kazmi, Deputy Managing Director at MCI Saudi Arabia. Both are leading professional conference organizers and work closely with global clients and local stakeholders to ensure events are strategically aligned, operationally sound, and responsive to today's evolving global environment. Thank you, Malik, and thank you, Shakib. So we'll get straight into the conversation, and I would like to ask you to give us an update of what's happening on ground, and what's your per se experience during this current scenario. I think Malik, you want to go first?
With the pleasure. Thank you, Anju, again for taking the time and efforts to put this together as usual as an active community leader in ICCA, especially for the Middle East chapter. What happened, I believe, is normal. We all believe that a crisis and geopolitical situations and pandemics can happen anytime, anywhere. So it's not something uniquely happening only in the region. It happened and it will happen elsewhere in the world. I think what makes the region a very good option for keeping your projects and investments is the way this region reacts to any crisis. As you noticed, there was no any escalation. The governments of this region maintained a high investment and support to protect the citizens and expats of these regions and the investments of these communities in these regions. So I believe from a safety point of view, I believe comparing to other places where similar incidents may happen, the reaction and the response of the governments was above even and beyond the expectations. The comeback, I believe, was also very quick and strong. The accessibility to airlines and airports. I think now from Qatar, you can again reach out to most of the destinations, gradually, of course, increasing, and also come back to Qatar from the same destinations. Yes, of course, that's normal. There was some cancellations for events that occurred during March, April. There were some postponing of events maybe happening in May, June, but we're expecting this to be again a reason for a strong comeback in Q4, which is normally busy, but we're expecting it to be busier this year. So we look at this as in a positive way, and also as the organizers of Qatar Event Show and the Qatar International MICE Summit as part of the Qatar Event Show, which usually Anjo, you speak in or you participate as a speaker. We are focusing on the resilience and the strong comeback as a theme this year to show how us as an industry, we are resilient. We are able to maintain the industry and the community ongoing, and keep using events as a tool to support economies of the nations.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Malik. I would also like to get feedback from Shakib.
Thank you, Anju. It's my pleasure to utilize the ICCA as a platform and to convey the on-ground realities of the meetings and events industry to the world. I thank ICCA for being at the forefront to guide and inform our clients and to give the real stories for association, to know what is happening on ground. It's 27 degrees in Riyadh. I'm sitting in my office. Whole office is there. We just last night had an event at the Hilton. We concluded for one of our very good client called Saudi Council of Engineers, about 1,000 people. And the beginning of April, we had another event, one of the very prominent graduation ceremonies that we do for one of the most respected institutions here, Al Faisal University. And in addition to this, there are, as usual, corporate business which is happening in Riyadh that we have been doing from the beginning. And that included some international events that we have done from here at Davos, for example. We've done for our client Ministry of Investment. Uh, Post February, when this war, Iran, Israel, that came into the scenario, uh, we really saw a lot of breaking news which would tell us that the on-ground situation in Saudi Arabia is very bad. But I never seen it. Life is as usual. Schools are open. During this conflict, my kids had exams actually, and the result is out. My daughter's got silver honor roll. It's a good news.
That's
Uh,
great.
yeah, and I've never seen any stress in the market here. Parks are open, schools are open, the venues are open, all hotels are functioning. The life is as usual, normal. Restaurants, we're going out, everything. In fact, in December, my mother wanted to come to Saudi Arabia, go to. She's in her 80s, by the way. It's with her nephew and my nephew and niece. They wanted to come here. We got the ticketing done in December, and then this war happened. So I had a lot of, my friend circle would tell me that, don't get them here because we don't know where the war situation really goes and how really happens, and the flights are disrupted and the schedules are haywire and everything. I heard them, but I observed the situation on ground. So I start tracking the airline, situation here in Saudi Arabia. They were on time all the time. I never saw even a delay. Forget about cancellation of Saudi Airlines. And then I actually visited once before they're coming the airport. I really found everything normal. So on 10th of August, they arrived here. They stayed with me the whole time, and then we went to. I drove to Makkah, Medina. We had a whole week long after Eid, celebration in Makkah and Medina with my mother and everything. And they went back just last Thursday. Perfect, normal. So if I were really believing on the headlines and the news that is being broadcasted as breaking news in Asia, America, Europe, it's very difficult to live the life. But the ground reality is totally different. It's very normal. Venues are working perfectly fine, and in fact, we have an event on 9th of May. It is one of our pharmaceutical client that I've been doing, and I'm looking for a space for about 500 people, and I three hotels refused. They're full. Their venues are functioning perfectly normal. So my message to my clients is that I think in today's scenario, the flexibility and the on-ground support is the key. We have solutions. I would not really recommend going for changing any programs since the life is normal. But in case if that is needed, we are very flexible. Let's do a hybrid. Let's do a perfectly virtual event, or if not, visit us and see on ground reality, and we would hold your hand and take you around and show you that city is perfectly functioning normal. And what is fantastic in this whole scenario is that the leadership of Saudi Arabia has played a fantastic role. They're dialogue oriented. They invite de-escalation. Not been part of any conflict at all. We have not seen. So we were hearing news that missiles are coming and those things are happening, but of course that's just the part of the news. We've not seen in the real life. So for us, this is business as usual. And if you look at the economic, scenario of Saudi Arabia, 2026 GDP projection was 4.8%, which there's a conflict actually. The IMF says that they've reduced the projection to 3.1, but the local government says no, we are 4.6. It's only 2% reduction that they're talking about. So, which I think is fantastic. Currently, we don't know. No one knows the future. If you look at the tourism in Saudi Arabia, it is only 2% decrease from, if you compare Q1 statistics with the Q1 2025 statistics. It's only 2%, which I think is very normal under even a normal business case scenario. It really varies that much. So to me, I think situation is very good. We see full venues, we see full calendars. Indeed, there is a stress because there is war, of course. We cannot deny that.
Yeah.
But we need to be prepared well. We need to be prepared well. We need to plan well to really
Yeah.
execute the events that we are doing, and do it without disruption. So we have the support of the government. We have the support. We have proper infrastructure in place here. So we have all positivity around. So I do not see any disruption, to be honest. Uh, yeah. So that's my
Great.
take on the
Thank
entire
you.
scenario. Yeah.
Thank you, Shakib. I think that says it all. I think you covered everything, all the elements. Um, what I mean, I just want to ask one last note that what is the what's your message to the international event organizers who probably are postponing? I understand from both of you that the events are getting postponed, not cancelled. And I feel that the year is going to be very busy in the last quarter, or the last two quarters. So, what's your risk management plan? I mean, how are you planning to sustain, and how is your calendar looking like for the quarter four or third quarter?
If you allow me to start, I think, Andrew, the most postponing events are the one that depends a lot on international exhibition and international participation. That taken in consideration, it means yes, maybe these as segments they need time in order to gain confidence and safety feeling in order to arrange their booking plans, and this is why no one wanted to take the risk of doing it now with this uncertainty. But on the other hand, as you mentioned, as a strategic direction and a risk management direction, we have a lot of local and regional things that we can do. We are, as Mangosteen, operating across 4 countries in the region: Qatar, UAE, Saudi, and Oman. And we are trying to diverse our activities around these countries. So locally, there is a lot, as Shakib mentioned, that can be done for corporate, for private, local or regional focused events. And still within these countries, you're talking about countries that even are accessible by cars, even if planes are not there. So there is a lot that can be done. Tourism is good because across the GCC there is a lot of tourism also happening. Here in Qatar, a lot of Saudis are coming to explore Qatar. So tourism is good regionally across these countries. We are trying to focus more for this period as a quick response on more local and regional events to make the ball moving until that Q4 come with the busier season, because more international segments would be more confident about coming to the region.
Great. And I think Saudi already also is facing the similar calendar, Shakib.
Well, yes, absolutely. Calendar is actually full. There are postponements, but it's only from Q1 to Q2, Q2 to Q3. That's it. The business
Okay.
is. I
Okay.
totally agree
Yes.
with you. I
Yeah.
think I think another thing is showing the flexibility. So
Of course.
business must go as usual, and we have learned a lot during COVID. If it is virtual or hybrid, or maybe shifting of the spaces and all of that is absolutely possible.
Yep.
Safety is the main concern, basically, nothing else. The market is buzzing. The businesses are really going on. The mega projects are in place, right? Today
Yeah.
itself, I was watching one report from Mead. NEOM is happening. In fact, this whole conflict has opened a new dimension for the NEOM port. because there are now discussions where the routing is being done through the NEOM port, and the Oman's contribution and Egypt's contribution, whereby maybe it's a new possibility entirely. So safety today isn't about pretending the world that we are calm. No, it is not. Yes, we are in distress, but it's about how destinations really respond with
Sponsor.
with flexibility, smart, and with really the right strategy to handle the entire crisis. Saudi Arabia's focus on diplomacy, stability, and continuity is why associations can still really plan their event with confidence.
If you allow me, Shakib and Andrew, stressing on the safety issue you just mentioned before, and I agreed with you that we are now, me and you, sitting in our offices, our kids are in the schools, so back is normal. So I would rephrase it from more really safety into uncertainty, because we are safe. It is really safe, but the problem is people are not certain about the reaction and the responses of US and Iran in this situation. Today, someone is saying we're okay. Tomorrow, someone changes his mind. This uncertainty is what's causing the stress. If there is a clear direction from these governments, at least we know the plan and we can immediately recover and go back quicker than before on international scale. The international community are more worried about the uncertainty of these decisions, and this is what is a bit pushes us back when we are negotiating with them. So I hope that these two governments will be able to take more clearer direction. And Andrew, if you allow me, one important thing that I would like to quickly mention for us as industry from internal point of view. I've seen a lot of also people, when I talk about uncertainty, they take rough actions with their teams, with their employees, and I want to again highlight that our strength as an event industry is the people.
Yes.
So I want to make sure that we always remember as business owners in this industry that the people are the DNA, the essence of the industry.
Yes.
And the solution is not reducing the resources, but more working with your resources on alternative and on how you can, find solutions. If you allow me at this point.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you, Malik. And I must say, as we close this podcast, thank you so much for all the insights on ground. But we are also going ahead with our summit in Jordan. It's definitely on the 10th of June. And a few of the topics, one of the topics actually is covering what you just mentioned, that well-being of human in this is always, ignored or overlooked, of how mentally people could react to such situations. There's always focus on the corporate identity or corporate behavior or a government behavior, but human beings behind it is always missed, of how people will face the personal challenges, because there come so many personal challenges for us. And I'm sitting in Dubai, so we are also having similar challenges that we are facing. And if you are with your family, you're always thinking that for work I have to travel, but family is behind, so you're torn between the two always. So we feel safe. I feel more safe when I'm in Dubai. I did travel to India as well while I was during this uncertain times, but I was more uncomfortable there than I am here. That I think speaks a lot, that I feel more safe in Dubai than I feel back home in India, because my family is here.
Yeah.
Andrew, I'm very glad that you confirmed that. I wanted to ask you about that, but I'm glad you confirmed that ICCA Jordan is still happening, and I look forward to seeing you all guys there. And allow me also,
that's the unity, and that's the solidarity that we have to stand by, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Allow me also to share with you the great news that also we're not postponing or canceling Qatar event show in September 2nd and from 1st to 3rd of September. And I also invite all of our community to be part of, showing this message that we are a resilient and a confident region for hosting your events.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Malik. Thank you, Shakib, for joining me today and giving me the insight and showing that we are, resilient, strong, and we are going to bounce back even stronger.
Absolutely.
Thank you for the opportunity, Andrew. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Stay safe. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.